ॐ शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिः अक्षमालां ददाना हस्तेनैकेन पद्मं सिद्धमपि च शुकं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्ख स्फटिकमणिनिभा भासमाना समाना सा मे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं कोदयाति परां गतिम् गोष्परीकृतवारीशं वशकीकृतराक्षसं रामायणमहामाला रत्नं मध्ये नीलात्मजम् वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यातं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम् नमोऽस्तु रामाय सलक्ष्मणाय देव्यै च तस्यै जनकात्मजायै नमोऽस्तु रुद्रेन्द्रयमानिलेभ्यः नमोऽस्तु चन्द्रार्कमरुद्गणेभ्यः जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम Anjaneya Maharaj ki jai. Okay, so last time we were looking at Ayodhya Kanda, where now Bharata has come to convince Rama, and his ways of convincing are not getting over. He tries to tell Rama about Kshatriya Dharma, about Grihastha Ashrama Dharma, and so on. But Rama also does not give up. He talks about uh, the importance of truth and the importance of promise, and so on. So let's continue. So this is basically, you can consider like the concluding part of Ayodhya Kanda. कुलीनमकुलीनं वा वीरं पुरुषमानिनं चारित्रमेव व्याख्याति शुचिं वा यदि वा शुचिम्. So Rama here tells that only through one's character it is known whether one is honest, dishonest, and so on. कामवृत्तस्त्वयं लोकः कृत्स्नः समुपवर्तते यद्वृत्ता सन्ति राजानः तद्वृत्ता सन्ति हि प्रजाः. So only the king behaves properly if only the king conducts himself well, the subjects, the people in the kingdom also will do the same thing. सत्यमेवानुशंसं च राजवृत्तं सनातनं तस्मात् सत्यात्मकं राज्यं सत्ये लोकः प्रतिष्ठितः. For a king, the two most important qualities or virtues are truth, that is satyam, and ahimsa, non-violence. So therefore, a kingdom should be based on that. Now, lifelong, not only people in my kingdom, even till date, if you see, now all of us also, we remember Rama as the one, you call him as Maryada Purushottama, or the one who has always kept his promise, the one who always spoke the truth, the one who always followed the truth, right? Otherwise, if he would have also, maybe when Bharata came to approach him, maybe he came back. Maybe in the first instance itself, when Kaikeyi told him to go to the forest, maybe if he did not go, people like us, when we look, first of all, then maybe the Ramayana would not have even reached till now, if such was the character of Rama. And even if it had reached, maybe all of us also will feel the same thing that Rama also broke the promise, I can also do that easily. There will be no respect at all. So therefore, Rama says that speaking the truth, and not only speaking the truth, following the same is very, very important. Now we speak something and go, but how much we keep up to that word. When you meet someone, you tell them, I'll do this, I'll do that, this, that. We promise people. But how far do we do? Best example, so-called people in a country called politicians, right? There are many kinds of people like this. Politicians, best example. Before the elections take place, so much of voting, this, so much of promises they make. I'll give you this, I'll give you that. Ultimately, what happens later, that is, we only know that, right? So like this, there are many people, whatever we speak. That's the reason why there is a very, very important piece. Kriya, Vachi, Chitta, Mahatam, Ekarupata. Kriya vachi chitta mahatam ekrupata. Kriya is action, vak is speech, and chitta is thinking. So whatever you think, whatever you speak, and whatever you actually do, all these three things should be one and the same. But what we do is, I think something, I speak another thing, I end up doing a third thing. So this is wrong. So Rama is trying to highlight all this. He says that the world is firmly based on truth. Only if you speak the truth, only if you follow it, then only people will believe you. People will have trust and faith in you. सत्यमेवेश्वरो लोके सत्यं धर्मः सदा शतः सत्यमूलानि सर्वाणि सत्यान्नास्ति परं पदम्. Truth is like God, and goddess of wealth, that is goddess Mahalakshmi, also resides at a place where always truth is spoken. It is supreme, nothing beyond it. सोऽहं पितुर्निदेशं तु किमर्थं नानुपालये सत्यप्रतिश्रवः सत्यं सत्येन समयीकृतम्. Rama says that I'm always true to my promise. I'm bound by truth. Therefore, now, only when now things are not in my favor, why should I disobey my father's command? So, therefore, I'm not going to do that. If it was something favorable, we would have followed, right? Now, just because it doesn't seem to be favorable, because it is difficult that I have to live in the forest and so on, why should I disobey it? I'm not going to do that. नैव लोभान् न मोहाद्वा न ह्यज्ञानात्तमोद्विदः सेतुं सत्यस्य भेत्स्यामि गुरोः सत्यप्रतिष्ठवः. He says in the Raghuvamsha we have kings right from Ikshvaku, Bharata, Sagara, Dilipa, Aja, Dasharatha, and many other kings. They have always spoken the truth. They have always kept their words. The promise that was given, I have to also maintain the same. Out of Ajnanam or out of greed, I must not uh, disobey my father's command and come back with you. असत्यसन्धस्य सतः सतश्चलस्यात् असत्यसन्धस्य सतश्चलस्य स्थिरचेतसः नैव देवा न पितरः प्रतीच्छन्तीति न श्रुतम्. A person who always speaks false, such a person, even if he makes offerings also, that will not be accepted by Pitrus or by God himself. You have some references from the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Satyasya Vaishishtam, that is the importance of truth. In fact, this comes in the last part of the Mahanarayana Upanishad. Satyam param paragam satyagam satyena suvarga loka chavante kadachana satagam hi satyam tasmaat satyera. So this portion, if you see, it has got a few swaras, and it will not have a full stop. It is continuously more than half page or so started continuously in one breath. That is the importance of truth. Anyone knows to chant Anarana Upanishad? Rajesh ji maybe? You can. Last three paragraphs, correct. Right. So that Raman highest, right? So that Ramante, in that finally a full stop comes, but here you see in this part, Satyam Param Paragam Satyagam Satyena Suvarga Loka. In this line there is no full stop at all. So the Mahanarayana Upanishad also talks about Satyaha, Satyasya Vaishishtyam. Here only one line is given as an example, but it's an entire paragraph, or you can say more than that. So this is Satyam. What belongs to Sat? Sat. This word itself, Satyam, the word is formed through the word Sat, meaning good people. So one who follows Satyam, they are good people by general. That is obviously, this is how the meaning comes in. And therefore, one who always wishes to do good or always wishes to, you can say, attain good things in life, he must always speak the truth. This is the last part. It's like a continuation. Satyena Vayuravati Satyena Dityo Rochate Divi Satyam Vachah Pratishta Satye Sarvam Pratishtitam Tasmaat Satyam Paramam Vadanti, and so on. Vadanti. Like this, it keeps on going. Means the wind blows, the sun shines. Now, why your wind and sun is given is every day the sun's duty is to rise in the east, set in the west. Till date, such a thing has never happened that the sun has not risen. There are a few places in the world, maybe you consider the two poles, Arctic, Antarctic, and so on. There maybe 6 months it is some summer, 6 months winter. That too, it is not that the sun does not rise there. Sun rises, but due to certain geographical phenomena, the presence of the sun cannot be seen there. That's it. Apart from that, the sun does not stay away from its duty. Why I told you this is there were few people who had argued. No, sun doesn't rise and few. It is not that the sun doesn't rise. Because of the location of that place, you cannot see the sun. So that is because of the phenomena that takes place. Apart from that, the sun has been rising every day. On Earth, at least, if you see, the sun is rising every day. Wind also does the same thing. Wind is continuously it is blowing, right? In fact, the sun it rises in the morning, it sets in the west. This is what we see. But wind, you see, continuously it has to keep blowing, be it day or night, otherwise entire creation is going to die. So that is Satyam. Satyam is they are following what has been given. They are following their duty, what has been told to them. Even if natural elements and natural surroundings are doing, who are you or who are we to stop from doing this? We are all human beings. So truth is something which is very, very important. All practical things in life also depend on truth. What is that? Why practical things? Here again, I'll tell you an example. Now we say truth is harsh, right? Or reality is harsh. So that's the reason now if something has to be told, maybe this is a bit disturbing or an evil thing or so, some people what they will tell is very nicely, they will maybe put up in good words. And then even though it is a bad news or so, still the way that the person tells does not make us feel that sad, right? So maybe they're telling in a very nice way. Whereas a few people, they will directly tell straightly on the face, they will tell and then move about. We might feel bad at that moment, but ultimately that is Satyam, that is truth. So this helps in being very, very practical. So instead of telling lies are in the sense just, you see, some people simply they'll keep praising and appreciating, then we feel that we are great. But the reality is not so. And one fine day, one person comes directly, maybe he insults us or tells us something, even if he gives a feedback, at that time it immediately strikes us, we feel bad, right? So, but then that helps us in improving also. So that's true. Rather than people simply flattering, instead of that, someone comes and telling us the truth is very, very, you can say, supreme. From Mundaka Upanishad, now if you see the difference between Mahanarayana Upanishad and Mundaka Upanishad, could anyone see any difference? See the text, right? This is Mahanarayana Upanishad text. This is Mundaka Upanishad text. Any difference could you find? No? Okay. Mahanarayana Upanishad, the way I chanted and the way the text is given, it has got some few swaras also. Satyena va yu ra va ti va goes up. Satyena dityo rochate divi satyam. Di is again down. Sa is again down. Vacha pratishta prasapti is down. Pratishta and so on. Mundaka Upanishad, this is called swaras. Mundaka Upanishad does not have swaras, or rather it is not chanted in the format of swaras. So this is a difference. Mahanarayana Upanishad is a part of Krishna Yajurveda. Usually it is chanted. Shukla Yajurvedam also they do chant, but the swaras are different. Mundaka Upanishad also talks about the principles of Satya, but the difference is it is there in the form of a verse. Some reference, some places they chant it with swaras, but as such the text has got no swaras, just as you can see here. So basically, Mundaka Upanishad, if you see, mostly it is chanted in the north side of India. Shukla Yajurvedis or maybe Rig Veda people and so on. And rather, Mundaka Upanishad, more than chanting, it is used as a reference text. So, like for reading purposes also. Whereas Mahanarayana Upanishad is used for chanting purposes, especially during occasions and so on. So here, Satyameva Jayate Nandritam Satyena Pantha Vitato Devayanaha Yena Kramante Rishayo Hyapta Kama Yatra Tat Satyasya Paramam Nidhanam. Just chanting in a random tune. So here, truth is that is the extreme path, that is supreme. So therefore, this helps in being free from desires. You can ascend to the supreme abode and so on. So all this Rama is trying to tell. Further now, Vasishta he explains. He also tries to convince Rama, and at that minute he talks about the entire lineage of Rama, and he tells all of so many kings have been there. The next kingdom should rightly go to you, so that is the eldest son should receive the king. तस्य ज्येष्ठोऽसि यादो राम इत्यभिविश्रुतः तद्गृहाण स्वकं राज्यम् अवेक्षस्व जनं नृप. So he tells the entire lineage, and then finally he tells, you're the eldest son of King Dasharatha, known as Rama, you should only be the next king. You should accept the kingdom, you should look after the people, and so on. Next. And the last effort that was put by Vasishtha and others in order to convince Rama, but that also fails. So Vasishtha he explains to Rama that you are not going to violate any dharma, you are not going to speak any asatyam and so on, because you are the person who should rightly get the kingdom. It's not that forcefully or by any cheating or so you have been offered this kingdom. Rightfully, it is your right. You can say it is your duty to accept the kingdom and to rule Ayodhya. And at that time, Rama counter argues saying that my father's word should not be false. Again, Bharata protests. He says that I'm not going to move from here. I'll sit in this kusha grass that has been spread in front. I'll live only for 14 years and so on. Finally, Rama very calmly he advises Bharata that you please go back and take back the kingdom. You rule it. Once I return from the forest, I will accept it. Further, Vasishtha says, Pita hyevam janayati purusham purusharshava prajnam dadati chacharyaha tasmat sa gururuchyate. He says, though a father gives birth to a son, the guru is considered supreme because that son is imparted with a lot of good knowledge. Therefore, the teacher only is superior, so you should listen to me now. So, Vasishtha is also, it's not that he is showing himself on a higher side, but he's trying to convince Rama. सोऽहं ते पितुराचार्यः तव चैव परन्तप मम मम परन्तप मम त्वं वचनं कुर्वन् नातिवर्ते सतां गतिम्. He says, I'm your preceptor, I was your father's preceptor, all your ancestors also considered me as their preceptor, so therefore, by following my words, by listening to me, you're not going to do anything wrong. यन्मातर यन्मातापितरौ वृत्तं तनये कुरुतः सदा न सुप्रतिकरं तत्तु मात्रा पित्रा च यत्कृतं यथा शक्तिप्रदानेन स्वापनोच्छादनेन च नित्यं च प्रियवादेन तथा संवर्धनेन च. Now there are a few things which Vasishtha replies that which a few things cannot be repaid in any way. That is how the parents bring about the upbringing, how they take care of the child, and so on. सहि राजा जनयिता पिता दशरथो मम आज्ञातं यन्मया तस्य न तन्मिथ्या भविष्यति. Here, this verse also, if you see, this would have been told by Rama. Yanmata pitarao. So he tells us to Dasharatha that, sorry, Rama tells us to Vasishtha that there is a lot of efforts that are put in and taking care of a child also, and we cannot ever repay it. Now, all of us also here, now maybe for at least for 10, 20, 20, 25 years minimum, at least 20 years, let us consider, our parents put in efforts to bring us up, right? Not only in monetary terms, it can be in general, taking care, maybe providing with all basic facilities and so on. So it is a depth that we have and we never don't repay it, right? Maybe for the education part or for taking care of you or for different things that we need, depending on one's own need. But still, they put in a lot of efforts, right? We never repay that. Do they write somewhere and keep these are the expenses? This is something that I've done for you for the last 20 years. Ensure that you repay me back soon, right? Whereas you see they do it the other way around. Maybe after the age of 30, 40 or so, when you start fetching for them, initially, at least for a few years, maybe not old parents, initially what they do is when we spend something for them, say for example, you buy a gift or something, something for the house or so, there are few people, they will give you the money. They'll say, no, 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 you don't spend, I'll give you the money, right? So this is the nature of parents, wherein the only relationship who doesn't believe in repaying things, who doesn't believe in getting back things. That is, okay, I did so much, but they don't write and keep. They don't ask anything in return. Whereas this is applicable sometimes in the case of children. If you see, the children also we don't ask in return, but there are children or there the next generation that is there. It does ask, right? You give me money or property, whatever it is. Anyways, after the person is going to die, everything has come to you. There's no doubt about it. But still, when the person is very much alive, we do all such things, right? Then it hurts in many ways. Like this, there are different references which Rama tries to highlight. And here he says that there are many things what our parents have done for us which can never be repaid. So therefore, I must always obey him. Next, he says that promise that I've given to my father that should never prove false. So therefore, I cannot come with you back to Ayodhya. You please try to understand me. So all this he tells Vasishta. Further, rishis and the sages they suggest Bharata that you take Rama's advice. Finally, Rama's advices you accept the decision. Whatever is happening after 14 years, I will come back. I will take the kingdom from you. Till then, you please rule Ayodhya. लक्ष्मीश्चन्द्राद लक्ष्मीश्चन्द्रादपेयाद्वा हिमवान् वा हिमं त्यजेत् अतीत्या सागरो वेला न प्रतिज्ञामहं पितुः. Rama says, the moon might lose its light or its brightness, the snow might leave Himalayas, the ocean might overstep, that is, it might cross over and come to its shores, but still, I will not break the promise that has been made to my father. Finally, Bharata, they all make a decision that let us take up at least a Paduka of Rama. Savaduke sampranamya Ramam vachanam abravit Chaturdasha hi varshani Jatachiradarohyaham Phalamulashano veera Bhaveyam Raghunandana Tavagamanamakankshan Vasanvai nagarad bahihi Tava Padukayodnyasya Rajatantram parantapa. So Bharata falls down at the feet of Rama. He accepts the padukas of Rama and says that I am also going to wear matted logs, bar garments. I am also going to stay outside the city. I am also going to consume fruits and roots like you. And I will place this padukas on the kingdom, and on that is on the throne. I am not going to sit on it. So I'll take care of the administration part and the ruling of the king. I'll do everything from Nandigrama, the place, and I shall live outside the city for about 14 years till you return. चतुर्दशेति सम्पूर्णे वर्षो हनिरघुत्तम न द्रक्ष्यामि यदि त्वां तु प्रवेक्ष्यामि हुताशनम्. Bharata takes a sankalpa. He gives, you can say, openly. He tells Rama that on the 14th day, if I don't see you, I'll jump into fire. Finally, Bharata returns back. Bharata and the entire party, after meeting Rama, they return back to Ayodhya. On the way, they meet sage Bharadwaja. And further, now when he meets Sage Bharadwaja, he tells him everything, whatever he saw there, and so on. And finally, after seeking the blessings of Bharadwaja, he returns back to Ayodhya. Further description of the state of Ayodhya by Bharata. Now, once that Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita had gone to live in the forest, Ayodhya was not the same. People were not happy. They felt very bad. They felt very gloomy that Rama, who was their favorite person, he had gone away. They were all waiting. They had made a lot of preparations for the Raja Abhishek of Rama. Nothing was happening. So Ayodhya was not the same happy place like before. Everything had changed. People were sad and so on. Now, at this instance, it seems that now the queens of that is Bharata's, Shatrughna's, and Lakshmana's wives, these three princesses, they had not gone to meet Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita in the forest. So Urmila especially, she was eagerly waiting. She felt that Bharata would go and he would bring back Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. She could meet Lakshmana and so on. So it seems that though there is no direct mention in the Valmiki Ramayana, there are some side stories that cover up this incident. It seems that when Bharata enters the palace of Ayodhya with the padukas kept on his head, Urmila, it seems that she comes running from her inner chambers. She comes running, and suddenly she comes and stands in front of Bharata, it seems, while Bharata was on his way. And she tries to look for Lakshmana, Sita, Rama in the crowd, whether they have come. She could not see them anywhere, and she is shocked. That is, her jaws drop down, her eyes are wide open. She is shocked. She does not know how to react. And Bharata also has no words to console her because when he was going, he had told that no, I will get back Lakshmana, you don't worry. In general, he tells that and he goes. But then that doesn't happen. Bharata could not face her, Bharata could not tell her anything. As you should just they leave from there and go straight, it seems. So Urmila just stands and keeps watching. Bharata and the entire party, Shatrughna, Vasishta, and so on. None of them could tell anything to Urmila. So they just stand there and they proceed further. They just go and keep the padukas in the kingdom. Urmila is just standing there. So that was also her weight that is highlighted. Obviously, she feels very bad. She starts crying and so on. And again, she runs back to her inner chambers. Further, Bharata decides to move to this place called Nandigrama. Others also follow him as usual. So then he advises Shatrughna that you don't come with me. Maybe on the first day or so, once I'm settled, you be till then you be with me. After that, you go back to Ayodhya because we need someone to take care of our mothers. We need someone to take care of things that are happening in the kingdom. If anyone comes immediately and asks for any help, we should go. If anyone comes suddenly and asks for any help immediately, we should be able to do that. So you please stay in the kingdom of Ayodhya. I will rule the kingdom from this place called Nandigrama. छत्रं धारयद क्षिप्रम् आर्यपादाविमौ मतौ आभ्यां राज्ये स्थितो धर्मः पादुकाभ्यां गुरोर्मम. Further, these sandals are like, you can say, dharma of my brother, and it is as if my brother only is coming and ruling this kingdom. So that's the reason I'm placing these sandals on the throne of Ayodhya. Bhratra himai sanyasaha nikshipta sauhridadayam tamimam palayishyami raghavagamanam prati. He says that this kingdom has been given to me by Rama, my elder brother Rama, till his return from the forest. Till then, let me safeguard you by keeping his padukas on the kingdom. So this shows the character of Bharata. Why? Now, okay, Rama was Vachanabaddaha, he had given a promise, he could not break that. But in the case of Bharata, he had no promises also. And in fact, the promise that was taken that was very much in his favor that Bharata should be given the kingdom, right? But still, he did not accept that. And even after going to the forest, even after convincing Rama to return back, and even though Rama did not agree, he could have very easily accepted. First of all, now when the kingdom had the first instance itself, when he returns back from Kekre Desha, when he comes to know of everything, he comes to know that he has been blessed with this kingdom, he's going to be made the next king. He could have very happily accepted the kingdom, right? In fact, he could have been very happy. Wow, great, kingdom has come back to me, and so on. But he does not do that. He immediately rushes to meet Rama, he makes preparations for that and so on. Then later, what happens is now also, once that he has seen Rama, he tries to come back. After convincing him, he even after convincing, even after trying his level best, he could have accepted the kingdom, he could have been made the next king, he could have enjoyed, right? But he did not do that. He decided to take up the form of an ascetic, he decided to wear war garments, he decided to sleep and stay outside in the outskirts of the city and kept Rama's Paduka. So this shows the character of Bharata. In the case of Rama, he says that I am Vachanabaddaha, I have given a promise, I should follow that. In the case of Bharata, there was nothing of that sort. But still, he kept his word. This was due to the respect and love that he had towards his brother, wherein he felt that if my brother, two brothers, and one sister-in-law, they are staying in the forest and they're leading a very difficult life, I cannot sit in the kingdom here and enjoy the pleasures of a king. So therefore, I will follow my duty, I will rule the kingdom properly, but for 14 years till my brother returns, but not by enjoying the pleasures of the kingdom while living in the outskirts of the city. Now, these are all qualities which are very difficult to follow, but still it happens in the case of Bharata. Further, ततो निक्षिप्तभारोऽहं राघवेण समागतः निवेद्य गुरवे राज्यं भजिष्ये गुरुवृत्तिता. He says now taking care of a kingdom, though we feel that oh, you becoming a king is very great or so, it is actually a burden, right? You have to take the responsibility over your shoulders. It is not that easy. So he says that once my brother Rama returns back, I shall hand over to him my guru and to him and my guru Vasishta, and I shall be engaged in doing service to him. सवालव्यजनं श्रत्रं धारयामास स स्वयं भरतशासनं सर्वं पादुकाभ्यां निवेदयन्. Everything related to the kingdom also, he relates everything to the sandals. Why he tells you the sandals? Because sandals are considered to be the sandals of Rama are considered to be the king now. And then he waves the chamaras. Chamaras is nothing but the fan that is made, and he holds the royal chatram also over those sandals. So just as we show a lot of respect towards the new king, similarly Bharata does everything to Rama's padukas. From Rama Pattabhisheka, you have two lines. Pujita mamika mata dattam rajamidam mama taddadami punastobhyam yatha tvamadada mama. दुरमेकाकिनान्यस्ता वृषभेण बनीयसा किशोरवद्गुरुं भारं नवोढमहमुत्सहे. Few of us we have just now learned Ramapattabhishek about 2 weeks back. Further, he says, now, Pujita Mamika Mata, this verse is there, wherein he says that you gave me this kingdom. He tells Rama, he speaks all this to the sandals. He says that you gave me this kingdom, treating my mother's words to be true. You gave a lot of respect to that. As you have given it to me after 14 years, now the same way I'm handing over everything to you, O Padukas, and after 14 years, I'm going to hand it over to Rama in person. Next is this Durameka Kinanyasta. Further, he is fed up. Fed up in the sense he doesn't know what to do. And at that time, he says that just as an ox carries a heavy burden, I'm not able to do that anymore. So, therefore, I need a strong person. Like I'm a young bull. He compares himself to a young ox or a young bull, and he considers Rama to be a strong bull. And he says that this young bull cannot carry all the burdens anymore. I need a stronger bull. So, therefore, you please come and take the responsibility of the kingdom. Now, a few conversations of life. Before this, now we have to also look at the character of Bharata's wife Mandavi. It seems that in Nandigrama also, now all the subjects they used to come with their everyday problems, everyday worries, and maybe now in those times, now in today's times, what happens is if you have or if you need something, what do we do? In our case, it doesn't happen that way, but even in local villages also, they will go to the head of the village, that is the sarpanch of the village, and maybe they will tell their problems, we'll address that. Or even now, what we do is the local government bodies, maybe the municipality and so on, we go and maybe there's a water issue, an electricity cut, or something like that. You maybe write letters or you go to the nearby local body office and so on. We do such things, right? So in those times, people used to come and approach the king. So a lot of citizens used to come and approach Bharata, it seems in Nandigrama. Every day they used to wait in a single line. Bharata used to come and meet each of them. So someone will say, no, I don't have enough food. And Shatrughna also used to be there. So Bharata used to tell Shatrughna, you ensure that their granary is full. Someone will say, no, I need some money for my child's education also. Bharata will tell Shatrughna, you please help them. And so on. Like this, each one of them, they had their own set of problems. They used to come with their worries. Bharata used to solve them. So once it so happened that a lady came. A lady came, and just as we know in North India, it's a tradition to cover the head, right? So similarly, and here now, whether she followed the tradition or no, that is one part. She had just covered her head so that her identity is not known. And she was standing in the line of all the subjects. Lastly, this lady was standing with her head covered with her sari, with the pallu of her sari, her head was covered. So Bharata asks, "Who are you? O Devi, who are you?" He asks. So she doesn't tell anything. She just folds her hand. He again repeats, "Who are you?" He asks. At that time, she opens her pallu. That is, she opens and she shows her face to Bharata. And Bharata is shocked to see his own wife Mandavi there. So he asks, Mandavi, why have you come here? What happened? You could have lived in the kingdom of Ayodhya. Why should you come to this place, Nandigrama? So at that time, she says that no, I also wish to live with my husband. If you are living here, I am also going to come and live here. I've asked permission. I'm coming here to tell you this, not even permission. She tells, I'm coming here, I've come here to tell you this. Bharata says, it is very difficult for you to come and live here. I'm leading a life of an ascetic. So for you to come and live here is little difficult. You please stay in Ayodhya. Secondly, your duty is to take care of our mothers and people there in Ayodhya. So you please do that. After 14 years, when I return back, we will stay together. So the same thing which Lakshmana had told to Urmila, same thing here Bharata also tells to Mandavi. Then Mandavi doesn't speak anything, she runs back to the kingdom crying. So you see, because of one's action, Bharata, Lakshmana and Bharata also had to be separated from their wife. In fact, in the case of Sita, she was separated from Rama for a span of just 10 months. Whereas in the case of Lakshmana, that is in the case of both Urmila and Mandvi, Lakshmana and Bharata's wife respectively, they had to be separated for a span of a total of 14 years. At least Mandvi could come and visit Bharata in between, though she did not do that much. But Urmila could never ever see Lakshmana in that span of 14 years. So you see, one wrong. So through all this, what we get to see is through one wrongdoing, it's not that you affect the life of only one person. Many people's lives are affected. Both the woman, both Urmila and Mandvi had to lose their husbands, right? And you just imagine the dukkha. The husband was, in the case of Mandvi, why we have to think is he was very much near her, but still they could not live together, right? So this is the plight that is there. If destiny has to play, this is how it shows itself. So like this, one fine day, then Janaka also comes there. Janaka comes to meet his daughters, both all the three daughters, Urmila, Mandvi, and Shrutakirti. And he is very sad. Both Urmila and Mandvi are crying continuously. Shrutakirti, though her husband Shatrughna is there, she feels bad for her sisters. And at that time, Janaka, he also feels bad. You see now, which father will like his daughter to be crying or maybe separated from their husbands and so on. So like this, he also feels very bad. But he is a Rajarishi. Janakaha Rajarishi. This reference comes in the Gita also. Janaka Dayaha. So he tries to console his daughter, saying that don't worry, you have to be practical. They're doing a good purpose, they've gone for a good purpose. Such situations do come in life, you need to accept that. So though they cry, though they feel bad, they listen to their father's advice, and that's how life moves about. So again, this incident is not highlighted in the Valmiki Ramayanam, these are all side stories. Next is Rama and Bharata's conversations. There is lessons of life again. One is now both of them when you saw it was when Bharata was speaking as well as when Rama was speaking. Bharata talked about Kshatriya Dharma, Grihastha Dharma, this and that. Rama talked about the principles of truth. So, whenever you speak, like just when a person speaks, we can make out, right? You can see the knowledge of the person. Now, say for example, here, if I am telling you something about the Ramayana, listening to the way I speak, maybe now for the last 6 months that we are having these sessions, you can make out, right? Now you can make out, oh, so and so is the level of this person, so and so she knows so much or he knows so much. We come to know, right, whether a person speaks. Maybe you listen to a person only for an hour or so, but the way they speak, through that we come to know how far knowledgeable the person is, whether really he has some knowledge, from where he's mentioning the references and so on, right? So you see some people when they speak, now it can happen even in my case, let's not just talk about people. Maybe they stammer a lot, or maybe they'll take huge pauses, or maybe they'll think, oh no, what next, okay, we're talking about Bharata, who comes next, let me scratch my head and see. If people start speaking in this way, you'll not like it, right? Or even we ourselves also, if we speak, it's not appreciated. So therefore, whenever we speak, the way we speak is also very important. In this case, words of wisdom, when we see, it's not that merely Bharata fell at the feet of Rama and told him, come back, come back, come back to Ayodhya. Or Rama also did not tell, no, I cannot come back, I cannot come back. They were not arguing on the same points. They spoke with references, they spoke about Dharma, they spoke words of wisdom. And Bharata also, if you see, when he says Kshatriya Dharma, Grihastha Dharma, this, that you have to follow, he had been, that's the reason he had a lot of references, right, from the Manusmriti, Upanishads, and so on. Niti Shatakam of Varidruhari. So tries to show their level of wisdom. And whenever we have to convince someone, always speak with references. That's the reason I always tell you, whenever you listen to something, always refer to the original text. People will tell you, even when now I am talking about the Ramayana, at least you should have an interest. Maybe if not during the class, later you must open the original text and check for yourself. It is not that we always try to test someone. What I speak, is it true or so? It's not that we want cross test. It's not for that. But then that interest or that ruchi or ourselves should be there to open the text and check. And through that, what we get to know is our mind is fully convinced. There is no place for doubt at all. So when next time maybe someone else is talking about such a topic or so, you don't have a doubt in your mind, or you won't feel, okay, I have heard this from somewhere, but I don't know exactly how it happens. So no, she had told me something. I was listening to a lecture on Ramayana. Something was being told, but I'm not very confident. This will happen only when we listen to someone speaking. But when we ourselves open the original text and see, our confidence level increases. No, I myself have read in the Ramayana. Also, I've heard it from someone. So you can use both references. So this is an advantage. Of course, this is not just to convince people around us. It is for our own satisfaction. And when we read something originally, it shows the amount of, you can say, the confidence that we have. If I'm speaking something, if I have referred to the original Ramayana, I can make statements, right? So and so text is mentioned like this. When I say that, out of that, I'm fully confident. If someone even pinpoints where it is mentioned, show me, you can immediately show. And even the Varnashrama dharma that comes, and people argue Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So much of conflict around it. Maybe you on your side know what exactly is the meaning of that. But when you have to go and tell it to four people, maybe to your own next generations, at that time you don't know, no, it is mentioned somewhere. What is somewhere? Whereas if you give the references, no, in the Gita, say in chapter number 4, Chaturvarnyamaya Srushtam Gunakarma Vibhavashaha. Next in chapter number 18 also you get a lot of references. Then you have the reference in the Garuda Purana. Then you have the reference in the Varaha Purana also. Like this, if you give references, okay, something is mentioned. You give me in writing, we say, right? Yes, it is there in writing, you see for yourself. Then you want to believe, you don't want to believe, that's your choice. But whenever we speak like this, it shows our level of knowledge and at the same time it increases our confidence. Same thing is done by both Bharata and Rama here. That's the reason they use different references. Rama talks about the importance of Satyam, Bharata talks about the importance of Rajadharma, this, that, everything. So words of wisdom are being exchanged. So very extremely, you can say a very difficult situation of who will get the kingdom, but both of them they handled it very well. So this shows the importance of debate. For this now we have to look at the debate of Shankaracharya and Mandana Mishra. And both of them had the debate. Mandana Mishra was actually falling down. It was a very intellectual debate. But Mandana Mishra was actually losing. At that time, his wife, Ubaya Bharati, she was actually an incarnation of goddess Sharada. She asked a question from Kama Shastra. Obviously, Adi Shankaracharya did not know about it because he was a brahmachari. He did not know something about desire, something about sex, something about physical relationship, or any kind of relationship with a woman also. He had known only one woman all through his life, that is his own mother and the goddess. And his own mother also, he had spent a very few years with his own mother, Aryamba, and that is roughly till the age of 8. At Ashtavarshe, just as you have the reference. Ashtavarshe, at the age of 8, he took up sannyasa. Then he promised his mother that towards your end, whenever you need me, I will come. Then he came only at the age of 32. So he did not know much about a woman, about in general relationships and so on. But at that time, he did not say that, no, how can you ask? This is beyond my topic. I am a brahmachari. I don't know anything. He did not do that. Through his yogic powers, he entered the body of a king. He experienced Kama Shastra, what exactly is Kama and so on. He experienced what exactly is a relationship. Then he comes back and whatever questions she had asked, he gives her the right answer. Now this why Ubhay Bharati does is, it's not to provoke Adi Shankaracharya, but then she could not bear her husband losing in a debate. It was a very, very intellectual debate. So whenever such debates take place or such arguments take place, just as here also, Bharata and Rama, they are actually not having a debate, but it is just they're trying to make each other's points, and they're trying to convince. So I want you to come. Why you have to come? I have my points. Rama says, no, I will not come. Why I cannot come? I have my points. So this is how. So you can say a debate. We have these debate competitions, right? Ultimately, at a normal level debate, it is fine. But you see your TV program, news channel debates, it is as if they are made to sit around each other, they'll end up killing each other. That's the amount of shouting and things that they do. Right? So debate should always be fruitful. Though it is putting up your points, doesn't mean that you attack a person. Right? Whenever you have a debate, it is for and against. You are given that topic, so therefore you speak. So there are going to be difference of opinions, but people take it in such a way as if no, we, I myself now in debate what happens is I might be against a topic, but still in a debate if it comes for you have to speak for a topic, I have to end up doing that, right? Maybe I don't believe in that, but still my side is I have to speak for in favor of the topic. I have to do that. So at that time, then against and for when it comes, we fight with the person. You debate in such a way that as if we are only speaking. It's just for the sake of the debate that I'm putting the points. Maybe in reality, I don't believe in that. So like this, here there are many references. So Adi Shankaracharya and Mandana Mishra's debate is highly noteworthy. And here through this instance, Shankaracharya also tries to show that. And here people argue, why did Adi Shankaracharya give up his brahmacharya ashrama dharma? Is it right on his part to enter the body of a king, experience Grihastha Ashrama Dharma, experience Kama Shastram and come back? Why it is correct is Adi Shankaracharya did not experience Kama Shastram in the form of a brahmachari. He entered the body of a king through his yogic powers, that is, the king was almost dead or so. And then he experienced. For a Raja, for a king, Grihastha Ashrama Dharma, Kama Shastram is very much applicable. Only for a brahmachari, it is not. So, if he had entered in the form of a brahmachari, in the form of a sage only, and if he had practiced and experienced Kama Shastram, that is different. That is wrong. But Adi Shankaracharya did not know that. Therefore, he has not broken any rules. But at the same time, he gives a lesson to the entire world that you cannot sit at your houses and say that I don't know this. This is not my level of study. This is not my department. I'm not heard about this. I'm not experienced. I cannot answer. You are a loser. If you don't know things, do from your side. You go research. You find out about things and then you prove yourself, because knowledge and learning is very, very important. Shankaracharya tries to highlight this. He studies, he experiences Kamashasam, he comes back and answers questions to Mandana Mishra Ubhay Bharati. That's when she reveals her original form as goddess Sharada. Then that is Ubhay Bharati is even today in Sringeri, Karnataka. If you go, you can see the Ubhay Bharati shrine. So that is the temple of today's Sringeri Sharada temple is believed to be Ubhay Bharati, goddess Sharada's temple only. And that's how people, devotees come and worship. So, okay, the topic here is Rama and Bharata's debate, but how a very fruitful debate has taken place. One best example is of Adi Shankaracharya and Mandan Mishra. Next is to withdraw from things, from worldly beings and from worldly things. Now, Bharata could have very easily accepted the kingdom. Rama also, his own brother is coming and telling him in a good way, please accept. Still, they stuck to their promise. That is what this shows their great character, be it both Bharata's character as well as Rama's character. If they wanted, they could have accepted, but they did not do that. So they did not fall in this trap of worldly things. They did something great and made people respect and appreciate them for that. Next is shows the greatness of parents, and it is our kartavya, our duty to preserve their pride, respect, and so on, and to take care of them. So even now, Dasharatha is anyway dead. He's not going to come down on earth and see what I'm doing, right? It is not like that. Rama says, I'm not doing for anyone to come and please. Even today, Dasharatha himself also comes and tells me, please return to the kingdom. I'm not going to do that. Or even if Kaikeyi also she comes and tells, she has come here, she tries to convince. At that time, she has already realized her mistake. It seems that she falls at the feet of Rama. Still, Rama does not do that. And firstly, be it now when everyone has come to Chitrakuta or later when Rama returns back to Ayodhya, first he falls at the feet of Kaikeyi. Only then he approaches Kausalya. Kaikeyi, Sumitra, Kaushalya. This is how he goes. His youngest mother, he goes and falls. People like us, such a thing happens, we never even look at that person, right? First of all, we won't do like Rama, but still, even if you have to see, we never look at such a person, right? But this shows the character of Rama. And why he did was, he says, I should never forget that the same mother, maybe I was sent to the Vanvasa, maybe roughly at the age of 18, when I was uh, not 18, maybe at the age of 22, 23, 24, let us consider. Maybe at that time I was sent to the forest. But before that, till the age of 22, 23, this was the mother who took very good care of me, and I was very much fond to her. Rather, Rama was a favorite child of Kaikeyi. She did not concentrate more on Bharata but on Rama. But the influence of Manthara had such a great impact that her mind changed overnight. Therefore, we have to be very, very careful from influences around us. It can be people or it can be even things. It's in our hands how that impact takes place, because it can be very, very dangerous. Kaikeyi is one of the best examples. Mahabharata reference, you have one more example. Anyone knows the greatest influencer from the Mahabharata? Shakuni. Very nice. So, but in the case of Mahabharata, Duryodhana also by nature he was evil, not like Kaikeyi, but Shakuni's impact was also there. So, like this, these are three things: words of wisdom, to be free from worldly things, and following one's own kartavya. So, these three things are highlighted. These are the lessons of life that we get to learn from Rama and Bharata's conversations. Next. Now, finally, what happens is the entire party has returned back to Ayodhya. Now, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita are in Varavasa. Now they decide what should be done. So a group of ascetic sages come, they run here and there. They see that there are a group of demons, Khara, Dushana and so on. And therefore there is a lot of attack by these demons. And therefore they all decide that we are going to leave this place of Chitrakuta and move somewhere else to be free from these demons. Rama also leaves Chitrakuta for variety of reasons. There are many, many reasons as he gives. One is this, the attack of demons. Secondly, he feels that now the people of Ayodhya know where I am living. Frequently they will come and meet me. So it will cause disturbance not only to me, but also to the ascetics and sages nearby who are engrossed in doing different sacrifices, meditation, and so on. And continuously, people coming and speaking, they won't go back, they'll just while away their time here. Instead of that, let me move from here, because I am also in the form of a Vanavasi. Therefore, continuously just impacting with people, having a very nice time, enjoying with them. This is not my dharma. I will do that once I return back to the kingdom. So now it is better that I also move from here. He goes and meets he reaches the hermitage of Atri. There, Atri talks about the greatness of Anasuya, his wife, Sita also. And at that time, Rama says, he tells Sita that he also spent time with Anasuya, learned many things from her. Sita and Anasuya spend a lot of time together. Anasuya talks about a Patni, Dharmam, and so on. She gives her a lot of jewels to wear. Further, इह मे भरतो दृष्टो मातरश्च सनागराः सा च मे स्मृतिरन्वेति तान् नित्यमनुशोचतः. So Rama says, so this was one more reason. He says, Rama, Bharata and the entire party has come to visit us here in Chitrakuta. So if we stay here, we'll continuously be remembering them, we'll feel bad. So it's better that we leave this place and स्कन्धावारनिवेशेन तेन तस्य महात्मनः हयहस्तिकरीशैश्च उपमर्दः कृतो वृषम्. Then he says this place has become exceeding very dirty because of elephants, horses, and people continuously coming here. So let us leave this place. Further, they go to the ashrama of Atri and Anasuya. Sita, she learns a lot from Anasuya. Anasuya gives her a lot of ornaments, garlands, and so on, and also asks her to tell the story of her Swayamvara. So Sita narrates her story of Swayamvara, how Rama broke the bow, how both of them got married, and so on. Then Anasuya blesses Sita. Sita also takes leave of Anasuya. So the entire day Sita spends with Anasuya. At night time, Rama, Lakshmana, Sita they come together. Next day they leave the forest. They enter the Dandaka forest. Sita and Lakshmana also follow. So with this, Ayodhya Kandam comes to an end. So in a nutshell, if you see, first 8 sargas, Dasharatha he prepares to appoint Rama as the next king. Further, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana leave for the forest. That is a major part. Almost 30 dashakams talks. 30 sargas. It is Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana. They make preparations and finally leave for the forest. People of Ayodhya come and stop them and so on. Next sargas, the next 27 sargas also talks about Rama's journey, where all he visits, which hermitage he visits, and so on. He visits Guha. He crosses the Ganga river. Then finally he enters Chitrakuta, and so on. And then ultimately, it results in Dasharatha's death. Then the next 10 sargas talk about Bharata and Shatrughna's arrival back to Ayodhya from KK Desha. They get to know the shocking situation here. Dasharatha is no more. Rama has been sent to the forest and he disagrees. Disapproval, he does not agree with anything. And then he decides what should be done next. Further, the next 20 sargas talks about Bharata's preparations to go to the forest to bring back Rama and finally what he does, what he achieves, and so on. Finally, Rama and Bharata's conversation, how both of them try to put their points, make their points, how both of them try to convince each other, but lastly it fails. So, Sarga 115 till here is Ayodhya Panda. Further, it talks about how Rama and Lakshmana Sita they enter the Dandaka forest and what happens, how they kill the demons Kara, Dushana, Trishulus, and so on. इत्यार्षे श्रीमद्रामायणे वाल्मीकीये चतुर्विंशत्सहस्रकायां संहितायाम् अयोध्याकाण्डं सम्पूर्णं. जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम. आञ्जनेय महाराज की जय. So with this, finally we also complete the Ayodhya Kandam. Would everyone follow the Ayodhya Kandam? Yes. Now, next time I am going to ask you something from Balakandam and Ayodhya Kandam. You must see last 6 months what all of you are listening. Okay. So, anyways, now I will now mainly what you have to notice now all these stories that are there. Read the Balakandam or read the Ayodhya Kandam. In the case of the Ramayana, it is not that we don't know the story. And whatever all this, even though I'm telling you, you already know the story, right? Even in the Aranya Kanda, next you know what is going to happen. Rama is going to go to the forest, Sita is going to be abducted, and so on. But one thing which you should surely notice each and every chapter. Now it took about 6 months for us, right? Maybe we started in April, May, June, July, August, September. Exactly 6 months. Today is 1st October. Okay. So 6 months it took for us just to look at Balakandam, Ayodhya Kandam. Okay, now there might be few reasons. Maybe my pace was slow, or I spoke a lot, or maybe we missed classes maybe in between for 2 3 times or so, or whatever it is. That these are all maybe you can consider 20 to 30%. But more than that, you look at the depth of each of these sargas that is there. Story is very simple. In fact, you can say half, not even half, one fourth of the Ramayana is done here, right? Or little more than one fourth, where in the initial childhood story of Rama, marriage of Rama, ultimately they decide to go to the forest. That's it. Bharata comes and meets him. So you can say only one fourth part or little more than that is done of the Ramayana, but still so much is mentioned in detail. Still now here each and every chapter word by word we have not seen. We're just looking at the gist. That is also taking up so much time. You just imagine how much depth and information would be there in the original text. So therefore the text is very very rich. Okay. Next we move on to the third kandam. Third kandam, which kandam? Aranya kandam. Correct. Next is Aranya kandam. Aranya, the word itself tries to tell us that Aranyam forest. Now, majorly Aranya Kanda, it is comparatively a small Kanda, but Ayodhya Kanda was quite big. Whereas Aranya Kanda was comparatively small Kanda, when it talks about what exactly happens in the forest. Balakanda, childhood stories, his marriage and everything with Sita, that is Balakanda, what happened in his childhood. Ayodhya Karna, what happens in Ayodhya, Dasharatha is dead, Bharata Shatrugna come back till Chitrakuta, that is Ayodhya. So something revolving around Ayodhya, the people of Ayodhya, that is Ayodhya Karna. Aranya Karna, what exactly happens in the forest, that is Aranya Karna. What is the main message? And the main message in Aranya Karna is there are good and evil people in this world, and depending on the situation, people turn bad or people turn good. Now, for this, the best example is Maricha. Now, in the case of Maricha, if you see, this is just one example, there are many more characters. Maricha now, initially he was already hit by Ram. He did not face death, he was not killed, but still he was hit by Ram. But later, still he turned evil, as told by Ravana. He assumed the form of a deer and he faced death at the hands of Rama. So, depending on the situation, he turned evil, he turned bad, right? So, this is one. So, there were a variety of reasons. Maybe Ravana tried to convince him this, that, whatever it is. But depending on the situation, we turn out to be bad. Or even Ravana's character itself. So, Ravana, as such, did not have any enmity with Rama, nor did Rama have any enmity with Ravana. In fact, Ravana himself directly did not have anything. Shurpanakha. She goes and tells her part of the story. Ravana believes that and comes. First, she goes to Khara, Dushana, they are killed. Later, she goes and runs to Ravana. And there, what mistake she does is, she does not tell both Khara, Dushana, Ravana, all these people what she did. She tells only the other part, right? And that too, she was very smart. Only to Khara, Dushana, she tells that these two people are real. Where that is, they have cut my ears and nose and so on, and then they rage at attack. Ravana, what she does is, she very smartly talks only about Sita. Though Ravana asks what happens to your ears, eyes, nose, and so on, what did you do? What did you do? Ravanasura very nicely asks her. But then she manipulates it in such a way that Ravana is fully, you can say, distracted from the main topic. He just starts thinking about Sita. So there she was very smart depending on the person who's there. Now what we do is if there is a small child or so, the way we speak to a small child, the way we speak to an elderly person is different, right? Maybe to a small child, say for example, if I'm telling the story of Rama, now all this explanation, maybe to some extent the child might like, but you have separate books, right? Ramayana for children. So only that is meant for the child to read. Whereas for an elderly person, say 60, 70 years old, we cannot give the Ramayana for children. Maybe you give a big book. Now, in certain cases, if the person doesn't know anything, even Ramayana for children might seem to be tough. That is another part. But in general. So, therefore, the way we speak to people is important. Now, if here I'm telling you about the Ramayana, all of you know about the Ramayana at least at a basic level. But still, when I speak, when I'm telling you all this, I should have in mind that okay, the people in front of me don't know anything. Don't know anything is in the sense they're at a basic level. So we must speak in that way. I'll very philosophically I sit and speak something. None of you will understand. None of you will be interested, right? So therefore, depending on the person in front of us, we try to speak, or depending on a person's likes and dislikes. So here Shurpanakha very smartly knew that Ravana is attracted towards women, and he has faced this problem all through his life. He has abducted many women and so on. So very nicely she describes about the beauty of Sita. She is fit to become your wife and so on, and that's how. So it was not that Ravana was not evil. Ravana was evil definitely, but then Shurpanaka very smartly tries to manipulate him, tries to bring him under the control of desires. And further, being simply good is not enough. We should be able to defend ourselves, otherwise, it will bring our own loss. Like in the case of Rama. So, Rama here, of course, what he did was, though he did many good things, still fate had to play against him. Looking at the golden deer, he ran away. So, that is the famous thing that is there Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. So at the times of destruction or when times are not in your favor, even our buddhi, our intellect that is there, that also might go on the wrong path. So a few messages from the Aranyakanda. Next, let us continue. Why do people turn evil? There are a few reasons for this. On account of some past karma, there is some curse also. In the case of Ramana Kumbhakarna, if you see, they are actually the gatekeepers of Vaikuntham, Jaya, Vijaya. They were cursed by sage Durvasa that you will be born 3 times on earth as, you can say, as kings also. But then later they ask for forgiveness. And I think it's not Durvasa, I think the Sanat Kumaras, right? Everyone knows that story. Sanat Kumaras curse Jaya, Vijaya. Who is it? Sanat Kumaras or Durvasa? Hmm, I think it is Sanat Kumaras. Anyone knows that? Okay, anyways, I will just check and let you know. So they get um, so therefore Jaya and Vijaya were cursed that you will be born 3 times on earth, and every time later they ask for forgiveness. They say that every time you will be killed by Vishnu and you can come back. I think it is not Durvasa, it should be the 4 Sanat Kumaras only. So the story goes this way that Jaya and Vijaya are the gatekeepers of Lord Vishnu, gatekeepers of Vaikuntham. The 4 Sanat Kumaras, they come to seek the blessings of Vishnu, they come to meet Vishnu. So at that time Vishnu was in his Shayana position, that is in his Yoga Nidra position. So the gatekeepers they don't allow. They say now you cannot go inside. 4 Kumaras they get very angry, they curse that 3 times you will be born on earth as demons. So they later ask for forgiveness. They say that oh, we have got a very bad curse, terrible curse. And at that time they say that every time you will be killed by Vishnu and you will come back. So this is the curse. First birth they are born as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. Next birth is Shishupala, Dantavaktra. Third birth is Ravana. Sorry, second birth is Ravana Kumbhakarna. Third is Shishupala, Dantavaktra. Kamsa is not there. People get confused. Kamsa is not Jaya or Vijaya. He was a demon who was destined to be killed by Krishna, but he is not the gatekeeper of Vishnu. First is Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, first birth. Second birth, Ravana Kumbhakarna. Third birth, Shishupala, Dantavaktra. Dantavaktra's story is very small, not that common, but he was also killed by Krishna in the form by Vishnu. So this is on account of some curse that is their past karma. Next is a lot of selfishness. I want this. I want to become the leader of 3 worlds. I want a lot of wealth. I want Sita to be my wife. So being selfish. Then wealth, lot of wealth. The Lanka is full of gold. Wealth comes, you go mad. In fact, you have a story from the Srimad Bhagavatam with reference to Parikshit. Parikshit, he towards the end of Dwapara Yuga, when Krishna leaves, at the time Kali Purusha comes there. Kali Purusha, Kali is a man. And Parikshit asks, why have you come? So Kali he says that Krishna has left, now it is my time to come. Krishna has left, Dwapara Yuga has come to an end, next is the Kali Yuga, so I have to come as usual. Parikshit says, you please don't come. If you come, people will turn mad. People will turn evil, this and that. So at that time, Kali says that it's not that I am bad by nature. It depends on the way you take it. And he tells a few places where he will always decide. For example, money, wealth, gold, and at the back of our foot, it seems. That's the reason always when you use the washroom, you're advised to wash your leg from back to foot. Because it's a place of Kali Purusha. Why the back foot has been told? Back foot, or you can say the back leg, that is there. Because whenever you walk on the roads also, lot of, you can say if you wear a shoe also, that is different. Wear normal sandals also, and leg gets dirty, right? Or even when sometimes you use a washroom also, legs are dirty. There will be some impurities that are always there. That's the reason it is advised to wash our legs. Or some people also have this habit. In fact, it should be done. Even after consuming food, you're advised to wash your legs also, not only the hands. So that is any food particles also while eating it might have fallen. And secondly, it is a place of Kali Purusha. That's the reason we must wash our back feet whenever you use a washroom or you are having food, after having food and so on. So like this, Kali, he himself tells Parikshit that I will reside at a few places, wealth, gold, and the back feet of people and so on. So here the same reference is given. When you have a lot of wealth also, or a lot of physical strength, you have a control over everything. Ravana had a control of all the Navagrahas under him. Indra was also afraid of him. And he had asked a boon also, except for a man, anyone can kill me. Man also, at that time Brahma still hints him. He was not asked a man. He mentioned all the other creatures. Ravana takes man very, very lightly. He says, what will a man do to me? He doesn't know the power of a common man. And Vishnu ultimately he had to take an avatar in the form of a man, Nara, and he had to kill Ravana. So wealth can make you mad. Next is now Ravana, Kumbhakarna had done a lot of efforts for tapasya. But you know the boon that was asked by Kumbhakarna, obviously it was a trick that was made. Saraswati came and sat on his lips, sat on his tongue, and he asked for a boon saying that no, I want to sleep for 6 months, one day I should get up, again the next 6 months I should sleep. And even in the case of Ravana also, he has put in a lot of efforts to do such extreme tapasya, but ultimately what he ends up asking is, no one should kill me in this world except for a man. So, due to our evil intentions, bad values also, even after putting in a lot of efforts for performing terrible tapasya, we end up asking for useless boons. Last is kama, desires, adharmic activities. Because of that, Ravana also, he was driven to abduct Sita and so on. He knew what he was doing was adharma, but under the influence of karma, he ended up doing this. So this is the reason how people turn bad. Next, so all this is a gist of Aranyakanda. Now characters in Aranyakanda, good people. Rama met a lot of good sages. Sharabhanga, Sutikshna, Sudarshana, Agastya, and then the lady Shabari and the word Jatayu. So these are all good people. Bad people, Virada, Vatapi, Ilvala. So Vatapi, Ilvala, they were all demons who were sent by Khara. So Khara's time, at the time they came. Virada is a great person. You can say a very huge demon. Great in the sense, a very huge demon who came. He tried to hold Sita in his hand. Both Ravana and both Rama and Lakshmana, they shoot arrows and safeguard Sita. Hara, Dushana, Shurpanaka, Ayomukhi. Ayomukhi is also, you can say, a very dreadful. Ayomukhi, meaning the face of the demon itself was not that good to look at. Maricha, Ravana, Kavanda, and various other Rakshasas. So you see, the number of bad people is more than good people in the Aranyakanda. Next, in a nutshell, about 75 sargas in it. Initially, Rama meets several sages in Dandakaranya, then he kills demons like Haradushana, Ravana's abduction of Sita, Rama's great, great agony. He cries out. So I told you 15 to 16, almost 16 sargas, just the agony. He goes and asks trees, he goes and asks people in the sense, animals around this, that, and then he comes to a conclusion that maybe Sita is hiding, Sita is playing a game. So in that agony, in that separation from his wife, he does not know how he was behaving. Lastly, he kills Kabanda, he meets Jatayu, and he finally meets Shabari, and Shabari advises him to slowly proceed towards Kishkinda. With this, Aranyakanda comes to an end, and Kishkinda Kandam will stop. Next, Sargavan. Rama finally decides to leave Chitrakuta. He enters the Dandaka forest. And as he enters the forest, he comes across a hermitage of various rishis, all the sages. They welcome all the three of them. They offer their respects, fruits, this and that. And at that time, the sages tell that this Dandaka forest is full of demons. You should be ready to fight with all of them, kill them, and make this place a safe place for all of us to live. Next, Virada, this demon, he attacks Rama and Lakshmana. So as they go deeper and deep to the forest, they meet this demon Virada. He tries to snatch away Sita, and he tells that he threatens that I'll drink your blood and so on. They're very angry and they finally kill Virada. अहं वनमिदं दुर्गं विराधो नाम राक्षसः चरामि सायुधो नित्यं ऋषिमांसान् विभक्षयन्. So Virada, he introduces himself. He says, I am a demon called Virada, and I move in this dense forest. I eat the flesh of sages and so on. परस्पर्शास्तु वैदेह्याः न दुःखतरमस्ति मे पितुर्विनाशात् सौमित्रे स्वराज्यहरणात् तथा. So here now Rama tells Lakshmana it is very painful to see that someone else is touching my wife Vaidehi other than me, and it is very painful to me even than the death of my father or loss of my own kingdom. So here only he mentions this. Later you imagine Sita being abducted by Ravana. Finally, after Virada introduces himself and so on, the fight starts between Rama and Lakshmana. Virada, he has already carried Sita, but later he uh, wants to carry Rama and Lakshmana too. Ultimately, they defeat him, they cut off their hands, they bury him, and he reveals his true identity. He was also like a Gandharva and heavenly demigod, and he decides to leave his body, attains heaven. Next, Rama meets the sage Sharabanga. Then, after meeting, he is killed. Virada is killed. He next reaches a hermitage of Sharabanga. And that time there is a chariot which was bought by Indra. And Indra at that time he leaves Rama. And Rama meets Sharabanga in the hermitage. And now why Indra had come is basically he had come. The Sharabanga's time on earth was over. So Indra had come to take Sharabanga to Indraloka. So at that time Sharabanga tells him that please wait for some time. I have to meet Rama. After taking the darshana of Rama, I will come with you. So therefore he waits. Rama, Lakshmana and Sita go and take the blessings. They go and meet Sharabanga. Sharabanga then he asks where should I live here because he has left Chitrakuta and come. So at that time, Sharabanga he tells that you go and meet the sage Sutikshna. He will advise you, and saying this he ascends to Swarga along with Indra. Further, now that Sharabanga also had gone away, the other sages in his ashrama they seek the protection of Rama, and Rama assures them that I'm going to kill all the demons, all of you will be living safe henceforth. Next, अधर्मस्सु महानाथ भवेतस्य महीपतेः यो हरे बलिषड्भागं न च रक्षति पुत्रवत्. So here it talks about Raja Dharma. He says that now in those times 1/6 of the part produce. In those times people used to practice agriculture. So 1/6 of the produce has to be given to the kingdom as tax. So one who does this, one who collects tax, but in spite of that, if he does not protect his subjects like his own children, it is as if great injustice that is being done. युञ्जानस्वानिव प्राणान् प्राणैरिष्टान् सुतानिव नित्ययुक्तः सदा रक्षन् सर्वान् विषयवासिनः प्राप्नोति शाश्वतीं राम कीर्तिं स बहुवार्षिकीं ब्रह्मणस्थानमासाद्य तत्र चापि महीयते. Further, all the sages they tell that whoever protects the kingdom at all times, I think this Sutikshna is telling Rama. Yes, ashrama of Sutikshna. So Sutikshna, all other sages advise Rama that one who protects the kingdom at all times, like one's own children, he will attain the realm of Brahma. He'll live there, he'll always be prosperous. यत्करोति परं धर्म मुनिर्मूलफलाशनः तत्र राज्ञश्चतुर्भागः प्रजाधर्मेण रक्षितः. In a kingdom where sages perform a lot of sacrifices, sages live safely, it seems that 1/4 all the punya attained by sages then goes to the king. So that all the people also are protected nicely. Finally, Rama reaches the hermitage of Sutikshna. So all these statements, the role of a king and so on, they are told by the inhabitants, or you can say the disciples, the other sages who are living in Sharabanga's ashram. Finally, Rama reaches the hermitage of the next stage, Sutikshna, and he asks permission to live in the forest. Sutikshna says, yes, you can stay in my hermitage, you also stay in this forest to prepare a house for yourself. Finally, after living in Sutikshna's hermitage for some time, Rama takes leave and he comes back. Sutikshna tells Rama, you go and visit all the nearby sages or their hermitages and then you come back here. So Rama leaves the hermitage and further, what are the three vices? So Sita talks about three vices that come out of karma, that is the three wrongdoings. What is that? Let's have a look. त्रीण्येव व्यसनान्यत्र कामजानि भवन्त्युत मिथ्यावाक्यं परमकं तस्मात् गुरुतराहुभौ परदाराभिगमनं विना वैरं च रौद्रता. There are three kind of vices. Now Sita just makes a statement here. First is speaking untruth, that is false or lies. Second is having an intimate relation with others' wife. paradhara. And now here one's wife, or it can be even other, even in the case of male also, one's husband. So Sita here, she speaks from her perspective. You can say from the Ramayana perspective, a bit of male oriented, that is paradhara when we say. It is not meant only for one's wife, only one gender. In the case of women, it will be vice versa. Next is, even though there is no enmity also, still if you resort to violence. Say for example, if there is a minor argument that is taking place, we don't go and end up killing the opposite person, right? So resorting to violence without reason is wrong. So these are all the three vices that have been told by Sita. तृतीयं यदिदं रौद्रं परप्राणाभिहिंसनं निर्वैरं क्रियते मोहात् तच्चते समुपस्थितम्. She says further that you are a victim of lust or greed. You try to show violence even without envy. प्रतिज्ञातस्त्वया वीर दण्डकारण्यवासिनां ऋषीणां रक्षणार्थाय वदः संयति रक्षसाम्. So why all this Sita is telling is in order to tell Rama that these are the three vices that people have, especially these demons have. So therefore we must protect the sages, just as you have promised them. You must protect the sages. You must keep up your word. You must kill all these demons and protect the sages living in Dandaka. Next, you have Sarga 10. Now Sita is concerned about these things. Rama gives her an answer. संश्रुत्य च न शक्ष्यामि जीवमानः प्रतिश्रवम् मुनीनामन्यथा कर्तुं सत्यमिष्टं हि मे सदा. He says, I promise the sages and I'm always going to follow that because for me, whatever I speak, truth is always dear to me. So don't worry, I'm going to follow. Apyaham jeevidam jahya tvam vaside sa lakshmanam lakshmana tatu pratignyam samshrutya brahmanebhyo visheshatah. He says, O Sita, even Lakshmana and you, but he says, even for your sake or for Lakshmana's sake also, I will give up my life, but not the promise made, especially to the Brahmins, especially to the sages who are to be revered and respected. Further, Rama moves towards Agastya's ashrama, and then you have here, it seems that Rama spends 10 years and then he returns to Sutikshna's ashrama. So here, finally, after 10 years, he asks to meet Agastya. Now, why this meeting of Agastya had to take place is because a lot of divine weapons had to be taken from Agastya. So, finally, Rama reaches the ashrama of Sudarshana, who is a brother of Agastya. You have the story of Ilvala and Vatapi also. Now, Rama, on his way, when he lives, he sees a very strange lake and the story of Pancha I will tell you that story also. Let's just finish this. Rama stay in Dandakaranyam. क्वचित् परिदशान् मासान् एकं संवत्सरं क्वचित् क्वचिच्च चतुरो मासान् पञ्चषट्च परान् क्वचित् अपरत्रादिकं मासान् अप्यधर्मदिकं क्वचित् त्रीन् मासान् अष्टमासांश्च राघवो न्यवसत् सुखम्. There were many hermitages. Somewhere he lived for 10 months, somewhere for a year, somewhere for 4, 5, 6 months, somewhere 1.5 months, 3 months, 8 months, and so on. So like this, he lived for many months together in different ashramas in the Dandakaranya forest. तथा संवसतस्तस्य मुनीनामाश्रमेषु वै रमतश्चानुकूल्येन ययुः संवत्सरा दश. Like this, 10 years passed in Dandakaranya. So Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana, they spent about 10 years in different hermitages, visiting different hermitages of sages. Further, आराधयिष्याम्यत्राहम् अगस्त्यं तं महामुनिं शेषं च वनवासस्य संव्यवत्स्याम्यहं प्रभो. Rama says that the remaining period, the remaining 4 years of our exile, let us live in the worship of sage Agastya. अत्र देवास गन्धर्वाः सिद्धाश्च परमर्षयः अगस्त्यं नियताहाराः सततं पर्युपासते. By Agastya's ashrama, because even the gods, Siddhas, Gandharvas, they also serve Agastya and they also observe a lot of disciplines. Natra jeeven vishavadi kruro va yadi va shatah nishamsaf kama vritto va uniresha tatha vidhaha. Rama says, his yogic powers or his spiritual powers is so much that a cheat or an evil person cannot even stay around the ashram of Agastya. So therefore, this place is fully safe. अत्र देवाश्च यक्षाश्च नागाश्च पतगैः सह वसन्ति नियताहारा धर्ममाराधयिष्णवः. Here you say yakshas, nagas, birds, gods, everyone lives here. All of them are following the dharma marga, the righteous path, and they are also observing food, discipline in food habits. Finally, Rama reaches Agastya's ashrama. He receives a bow there. Idam divyam mahachapam hemaratna vibhushitam vaishnavam purushabhyagra nirmidam vishwakarmana amoga surya sankasho brahmadatta sharottamaha. Then, after doing a lot of hospitality, offering food and to Rama, finally, Agastya, he hands over a divine bow that was made, designed by Vishwakarma, studded with gold and gems to Rama, and he said that it was given to me by Brahma. अनेन धनुषा राम हत्वा सङ्ख्ये महासुरान् आजहार श्रियं दीप्ता पुरा विष्णुर्दिवौकसा. Agastya tells in ancient times Vishnu had used his bow to kill demons in a battle, and thus the gods had emerged victorious. I'm handing over the same bow to you. Agastya finally he tells Rama that he go to Panchavati and stay. Agastya also praises Sita, and Rama also requests him, you tell me a good place to stay. Agastya advises Panchavati, and then the entire route, that is the description of how he goes to Panchavati, that is been told by Rama. Rama takes leave of Agastya. Creation, Rama, then he meets Jatayu. So you see, the Valmiki Ramayana has a reference. If you remember, I told you in the previous lectures too. Usually, what we know is we know that Jatayu meets Sita later. Jatayu meets Rama and Lakshmana later after the abduction of Sita. But it is not so. Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, they meet Jatayu initially. Obviously, they did not know about Jatayu. He was just considered to be a normal bird. The entire process of creation has been explained. If you want, make a note of this. How animals have emerged, how reptiles have come, how aquatic animals have come, how nagas have come, how birds have come, and so on. How cattle, Surabhi, she has given birth to horses and cattle. Vinata, the mother of Garuda, has given birth to eagles. Nagas, Kadru. Kadru was the woman, Kashyap's and wife was Kadru. She gave birth to Daksha Prajapati had many daughters. So out of that, they were all given in marriage to Kashyapa. Through them, such living beings have come. Kadru was the mother of Nagas or the stepmother of Garuda. Like this, different references are made. So those who want, you can read this. The entire original Sarga 14 of Aranyakandam. So, anyways, it's given here. Great. कर्दमः विक्रतशेषः बहुपुत्रः संशयः स्थाणुः मरीचिः अत्री क्रतुः पुलस्त्यः अङ्गीरसः प्रचेतः पुलहः दक्षः. These are the, you can say, the Manasaputras of Brahma and also Daksha Prajapati. He had 63 daughters and they were all married. 8 were married to Kashyapa, Vivaswan and Arishtanemi. Aditi, Kashyapa had many wives further. Aditi, Diti, Danu, Kalaka, Tamra, Krodhavasha, Manu, Anala. Further, Aditi, she gave birth to 8 Vasus, 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, and the 2 Ashwins. Diti gave birth to Daityas. Danu gave birth to the Danavas, Hayagriva. Hayagriva is a Danava, not Lord Vishnu in the form of Hayagriva. There was also an Asura who had that horse face. Hayaha is a horse. Hayaha Grivaha Yasya Saha. One who has the neck or the face of a horse, that is Hayagrivaha. Kalaka, she was another wife of Kashyapa. She gave birth to Naraka Kalaka, that is hell. Next, Tamra, Kraunchi, Bhasi, Sheni, Dhritarashtri, Shuki. Kraunchi, Krauncha, hawk. Birds, the entire species of birds. Shuka, Shuki is parrot. So, Dhritarashtra, Sheni, Shuki, Tamra gave birth to various species of birds. They further gave birth to birds. So that's how the creation moves about. So Shuki gave birth to different parrots, Crouchy gave birth to different hawks, and so on. Krodavasha, Mrigi, Mrigamanta, Hari, Bhatramada, Matangi, Sharduli, Shweta, Surabhi, Surasa, Katruva. They gave birth to different animals and birds. Mrigi, in general, Mriga, animals. Surabhi, horses. Horses and cattle mainly. Surasa, Nagamata, Nagas. Kadru is for serpents. So serpents, Nagas, they are actually a different category. Sarpaha, Nagaha. Then Manu gave birth to human beings. Manu, that's how we have the Manavaha. Anala gave birth to trees and fruit. So this is how the process of creation is explained. You can refer to the original Sarga also. Then creation process as per Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahatatvam, Mahatatvam, the cosmic or the ultimate intelligence. Next you have Chit Shakti, power of intelligence. Just having intelligence is not enough. I have a buddhi. Everyone is blessed with a buddhi, right? Everyone is blessed with the intellect. How you make use of that, that is Chitta Shakti. How you make use of that is very, very important. Next is Ahankara. So, creation, when we talk about creation process, it's not just the different living beings that we see. Intellect is also something which is very, very important. So, all this also has come in. Next, you have ego, Ahankara. Then the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Then you have desires, that is Manasaha. Buddhi, understanding, that is Jnanendriya, Karmendriya. Sensory organs, few organs which we do actions, brain, mind, and so on, jnanendriyas. Then the principle of sound, shabda, sparsha, sound, touch, rupa, physical form, rasa, it's to enjoy things. You look at something beautiful, we say, right, wow, it is so beautiful. Why? That feeling develops in us. How come it does come? Otherwise, say for example, an animal, if it sees something, it is not going to express itself. It will not say wow also. But as a human being, you see a very beautiful scenery also, you immediately say wow, so beautiful, so good, right? This is rasa. Since you look at things, you can appreciate. Or you eat something, taste is good, you immediately appreciate. So these are some things which are told for, you can say it is very exclusively reserved for human beings. Gandha is smell. You smell something good, maybe flowers also, we feel happy. So these are all different things that are created. Next is time period. Now, I will explain. We will look at this in detail in the next session. Now, we don't have time. But you just, Srimad Bhagavatam gives this reference. Paramanu. So, you see the time period that is it. So, not even a millisecond, second, minute, we say less than that. Paramanu, Anu, Trasrenu, Truti, Veda, Lava, Nimesha, Kshana, Pashta, Lagu, Nadika, Prahara. So it is like Paramanu into 2 into 3 into 3 into 100, that is multiplication. Then you have the time period. So one praharam, meaning 1/4 of daytime, that is 3 hours. 6 to 9 is one praharam, 9 to 12 is one praharam. Prahara is 3 hours of the day. So this is how the time period is calculated. So this itself shows the richness of our scriptures, shows the measurement of time. Srimad Bhagavatam is one of those texts. There are also many other scriptures. We will look at this in detail. So in the process of creation, when we talk physical beings are created, then you have mental capacities like intellect, chitta shakti, rupa, sparsha, gandha. Then you also have the process of time, definitions of time. द्वादशार्धफलोन्मानं चतुर्भिश्चतुरङ्गुलैः स्वणमाशे कृतच्छिद्रं यावत्प्रस्थजलप्लुतम्. How time should be calculated? A pot of copper that should weigh 6 palas. Then one prastha of water. That means it will hold one, that is a vessel, it will hold one prastha. These are all time measurements that are there. Then there will be a gold needle which weighs, you can say, 4 masas, 4 angulas. I will tell you all these measurements next time, what exactly it is. And the time that is taken by a pot left on water to be filled and to be submerged is called nadika. So if you're not understanding this, you can leave this in detail. We will look at this next time. So the explanation is nothing but in maths what we study, mass, what do you call that? Mass, right? Mass measurement, something. So how you calculate mass, that is MASS, or I think it is in science majorly, mass, matter, and so on. That is this has been mentioned even in Srimad Bhagavatam. Time, human beings for Pitrus and for celestial gods. For human beings, 15 days, one paksha, 2 fortnights, that is one fortnight, 2 pakshas, Shukla paksha, Krishna paksha, 1 month. 2 months is one ritu. 6 seasons we have, that is ritu. 3 ritus is one ayana, that is 6 months. 6 months. 6 months is Dakshinayana, Uttarayana, Uttara Ayanam, Uttarayana, and Dakshinayana. 2 ayanas together, 1 year. So in all, lifespan is 100 years for human beings. 1 month is actually 1 day for the Pitrus. 1 year is 365 human months. So lifespan is also 100 years for them, which is 36,500 human months, and more than 3,000 human years is 1 year for Pitrus. Next, for the gods, 1 year is 1 day for the gods. 1 human year is 1 day for the gods. And lifespan, so more than 36,000 human years is one, you can say 100 years for the gods. So this is how the time period calculation is done. Next, you have the concept of 4 yugas and so on, the calculation that is there. Let's look at this next time. Today time is up. In detail, I will tell you about all this time periods and so on.